Joining me today on the podcast is a man I've been wanting to have on for a long time.
This week, really exciting guest. I've got Matt Berkey coming on.
Matt Berkey is on the podcast this week.
We got the Dream Crusher, aka Matt Berkey, in the house.
Have the middle chair.
Why don't you want to talk about it? Yeah, he doesn't have the middle chair.
I feel really weird over here.
He can't perform without the middle chair. All eyes are on Berkey.
I don't know. I have to have the middle chair.
You want the middle chair?
I honestly can't do this. We just wrapped our 5th academy. We've been at this now for a year and 4 months or so. It's been a massive learning process for us along the way, as much as it has the 45 individuals who have attended.
We talk about the academy. So the academy Sell for Why. I know one person who has taken the academy, heard really great things.
I've heard a lot from other red chippers who have taken the academy and have nothing but amazing things to say about it.
Could you explain sort of what Soul for Why is and the things that you're doing with the live academies?
How it exists in its current state is it's basically a poker training academy where we're trying to shift the way that we problem solve from figuring out the how and the what, and instead treating it from a why-centric point of view. We're kind of ingrained as human beings to identify what a problem is and then immediately figure out the easiest how to solve it.
And that's very efficient, and it's gotten us to this point. But with modern day technology and everything, now simple solutions aren't adequate enough because deeper, more involved solutions are going to be much more optimal.
We basically took this and we created a 3-day academy out of it.
We talk strategy for 4 to 5 hours a day, and then they play for 3 hours on an RFID table, where Christian Soto and myself commentate over top of it, giving like feedback, telling each individual with every hand that they're involved in what they do right, what they do wrong, etc. And then that's their study metric moving forward.
It's like this all started with the min-raise pre, the check calling twice. Like this board texture runout isn't great, but you missed the world. He blocks king, queen. He blocks aces. I don't really think he could really logically deduce there's a hand in Greg's range that beats him at this point.
As far as like the strategy construction standpoint, take this why-centric point of view and we start to identify why these problems exist at all, right? So why do you have an issue getting check raised on the river? Let's reverse engineer it and start from the beginning. And what we often find is that there are micro mistakes being made up until that point that are much easier to correct than actually just defending against river check raises.
And how have you found that sort of move from, playing in the high roller cash games, the tournaments, and then going back to the community and dealing with players who, perhaps are playing 2-5, 5-10, they may be relative novices. How have you found that transition?
I really enjoy it. Like, my background from baseball was me attempting to play the highest level as humanly possible. Like, it was trying to find the path to elite where physically I may not have even been capable. And obviously I fell short. And the first thing that you gravitate towards when you fall short is you want to help somebody else achieve what could possibly be one of their dreams. With poker, I've had a lot more success and, I'm still on that path to attempting to be elite, but there's such a gap, especially in the training market, I think. Nothing's really closing the gap for people who are just entering the learning curve. There isn't a direct path to get from entering the learning curve to out of it. There's just a path forward that can kind of propel you. We felt like with what we were creating at Solve for Why, we weren't going to give them the quick fix that everybody else was kind of lending, but instead that path out of the learning curve to where they could start to develop their own strategies beyond what the norm is.
But Matt's got a new show on there. It's called Dead Money, The Path to Super High Roller Bowl. Talk about the show a little bit more, man. So what exactly can people expect to see?
We really just wanted to like peel back the curtain and kind of show, a little bit of what the process looks like when you're playing the biggest shit in the world. Like pretty much the way I came up with the idea was 2 summers ago, I just like had a sleepless night and I couldn't take it. So I got out of bed, like my mind was just racing, and I was suddenly hit with this idea of like, if you were fortunate enough to final table the main event, what would you do to capitalize on the time off between then and the November 9? And it's a sore point where I thought like almost nobody did anything to help themselves, right? Like everybody just looked for sponsorship handouts. When they weren't there, they were just like, okay, I guess I'll just like try to watch some tape and be ready for this sit and go. And it's crazy to me. It's like, yeah, you've made $1 million, but holy fuck, you're playing for 8 million. Like, I would slave for 3 months. You would not see me like going to WSOPE and trying to bink something else in between. It would just be like, I would be doing 2 things. I'd be in the lab for the actual event itself, and then I would just be doing everything under the sun to capitalize on the momentum that my name and this opportunity had. So I started to like scale it out on my chalkboard. I'm just like writing down all these ideas of how I would prep, the team that I would assemble, the coaches that I felt like the areas I felt like I was weakest in, that I needed some aid. Put all that together. Then I put together like the promotional side. It was just like I would start blogging. I would start having a film crew follow me around. I would do all this stuff. And it just kind of presented itself as an opportunity when the Super High Roller Bowl came to be, and my backing crew was behind me. They're like, yeah, let's do it. It's like, this is a Black Swan event. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I'm going to do everything in my power to take control of it. So around that time, I started to blog my backstory, and it was getting like tremendous feedback. And it was shortly after both my mother and grandmother had passed, and I'd written 2 blogs about them as well. And I was just like, yeah, there's something here. Like, this is interesting to people. They want to hear about how I grew up, about, the drug use my mom went through and all this other stuff. So I was just like, okay, I'm going to start blogging it. And when I got into it, I was like, this is going to be a good story to tell. If I can show the preparation for how you get ready for a 300K event and intertwine it with my backstory, like, I know that if I weren't playing this event, this is something I would want to watch.
Welcome to Aria Resort and Casino, proud host of the 2016 Super High Roller Bowl. Shuffle up and deal.
The Super High Roller Bowl stands out for a couple different reasons.
It's the cream of the crop, and being a part of that fraternity means you've made it.
I'd be a fool not to prepare for this to the highest of my ability.
So he's one of the best cash game players in the world. However, now we're putting him into very high stakes tournament where these guys have been doing this forever.
I just don't have 300,000 lying around. So I kind of have to seize the opportunity now.
We're witnessing a historic run for a professional poker player on a personal level that I've never seen before.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Stay tuned for the vlog. We're going to be going into the Super High Roller Bowl prep coming up, World Series preparation, and then hopefully we're going to have some sort of project launching this summer where we're able to detail all of ourselves, maybe even a few of our friends, as we make some deep runs this summer during the World Series.
If you guys have any questions or any comments, just post them below. We are more than willing to take on any and all of them. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Subscribe below. Bye.
Bye.